Topic for today is a bit of a discussion and the educational aspects of meher or haqmahar, which is normally known as dowry. Just a disclaimer in the beginning that this video is meant only for the educational reasons. It is not meant to be a source of controversial things or any other sort of debate. So I wanted to compile few points which I wanted a 15-year-old younger version of mine to know, because I believe these things should be known to all the teenagers out there so they can decide what and how they want the future to look like for them. I know they have information to a vast range of things in their teen years. Therefore, I do not think that this is an early topic for them to think about. So let's get right to it. So in the beginning, let's first define what is mahar for those who have no idea. In Islam, mahar, also known as dowry, it is one of the rights of the wife which is hers to take in total, and it is lawful for her, obviously. This is in comparison and contrast to the dowry practice ongoing in many countries where the wife is given no dowry, and the evidence is that the wife must be given her dowry. This is found in various places in Quran and also in different ahadith. So it is present in both Quran and Sunnah. In Surah Al-Nisa, verse number 4, it is stated, "And give to the women whom you marry their mahar, obligatory bridal money given by the husband to the wife at the time of marriage, with a good heart." That is what's written in Surah Al-Nisa. So you can go there for further referencing. Ibn Abbas Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu also said, this refers to the mahar is the dowry which we normally consider. So Ibn Kathir, may Allah have mercy on him, also said, he summarized the comments and he said, the man must definitely pay the dowry to the women and he should not resent it. The point is, this is not taken the other way around. Men are not given this dowry by the women's side or by her family side, but Islamically, women are given this dowry, this mahar, at the time of their getting married by the man or by his family. Okay, I hope this clears the point in the very beginning. It is important to be highlighted here that money of mahar, it is not an indicator of a woman's worth. It is only a gift which is given to her by her husband. Okay, so the next question arises is, who determines how much mahar is to be considered right or what is wrong? Because I remember in our society, in Pakistan, in India and other countries with similar cultures of mahar and dowry specifically, we think that if a woman is asking for more mahar, that means she's a gold digger or she's materialistic. Similarly, if a woman is asking for less mahar, that means she's more pious and she's not interested towards the worldly things. That is completely false. It is the woman's right to determine how much she wants for mahar, and it is completely a man's right to accept or to completely say no to that requirement if he doesn't want to proceed, simply. So this association of mahar's quantity with your piety, this is not right. I just wanted to clarify the situation for all the teens out there so that they are not guilt tripped again into the same loopholes that we have created because of our different diversity in the previous cultures, right? So how do we determine how much amount is right for mahar and how much is too much, right? So there are different factors which are needed to be considered while we are determining the amount of mahar. Okay, for the girls it is important to know that they should have an idea what the man can afford, and even if it is a bit higher amount than what he can afford, the man, it is his responsibility to provide the amount of mahar at the time of getting married. So technically, this amount should be paid to the women when they are getting married. Okay? This is not to be delayed in the upcoming years of the marriage. For example, the people are paying it 5 years after the marriage, 10 years after the marriage. Some didn't even pay it even though they are married for like decades. So that is completely wrong. You have to pay the amount at the time of getting married. Okay, so the best approach towards this payment is that the amount of mahar is determined beforehand by the women, and they discuss it between the two families. If both the families are okay with that amount, they proceed with the marriage, right? And man then starts collecting that amount of money so that he can pay that mahar to his wife at the time of getting married. Not that he would promise her that yes, I will pay that amount after we get married. So technically this is what's right and what's wrong. I just want to clarify the situation for all the teenage boys and teen girls so that they would know what they are getting into and what Islamically is okay. Yeah? While this presents the perspective from the women's side, it is also important to address the male side. First of all, when you are proposing someone or when you are sending some of your family members towards her house, it's important for you to know, to understand what financial situation she is living in, how much she is already comfortable, and can you provide her with same level of comfort which her father was providing her with. Yeah, because when she's gonna come to your house after getting married, she will want the same level of comfort she was getting at her father's house, right? So it's important for you to understand the situation beforehand. I know love happens, and I know sometimes we want to proceed with the things, but technically love can't feed you for that long, right? So you have to understand that yes, the finances, the economic situations, they do play a major role when you're living together, because the finances and the expenditures, they don't stop, right? So the processes all continue on. So you have to consider the situation she's coming from at the time of proposing. The financial compatibility is really important because it would help both of you to maintain that lifestyle, and so your standard of living will not be declining, or the quality of your living will not be deteriorated because of different fights happening all the time. Another point for the women to consider is that they should make sure that yes, there is a good amount for the mahar that they have asked for the male side to provide, but at the same time it should not be that excessive that the men or the husband, future husband, he goes into a debt situation that they have to go to take a loan or something, and it is that big that he cannot get out of it. So all the things should be considered at the time when you are finalizing these details before you get married, so that the complications do not happen after the marriage. This amount of mahar can be used in various ways. Number one, it is important to clarify the situation is that the mahar is the right of the wife, and it is not permitted for her father or anyone else to take it except with her approval, right? Even Hazrat Abu Salih Anha said that when a man married off his daughter, he would take her meher away from her. But Allah Ta'ala forbade them to do that and gave women the right to the meher that they received. You can, reference Tafsir ibn Kathir for this one. And similarly, if the wife foregoes any part of the mahar, then the husband is permitted to take it, not without their approval. So it is important that you ask for her permission. Similarly, for the women, why this amount is given to you, maybe, I don't know, from my perspective, maybe you can use it to start some of your own work, or to help even your own husband later in the coming years when you will have a family to support, right? We all have ups and downs in our life, so you can use that money, save it for some other purpose which your family can use it later when the need arises. So there are different hikmah and different wisdoms behind giving this women this right of mahar. So you should utilize this opportunity. When Allah Ta'ala is giving you a right, don't forego it. Yeah, just my 2 cents. You can think about it later. Okay, so I have been reading a couple of comments on Facebook, and there was this post where they stated that the mahar amount should be or could be as little to a size of a ring. That hadith is basically used to guilt trip the women into having lower amount of mahar. Similarly, example of Hazrat Fatima Razila Ta'ala and her dowry also. I have researched about it, and on the website Islam Q&A you can get further details that what minimum amount of mahar can be taken. So in Al-Sahih Bukhari you can search for it, number 1425. It was narrated by Sahal ibn Sa'd al-Sadi, who said, a woman came to Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, O Messenger of Allah, I have come to give myself in marriage to you. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam looked at her up and down and then lowered his head and paused. When the woman saw that he had not made a decision about her, she sat down. A man from among the Sahaba said, Aap sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you are not interested in her, then please marry her to me. He said, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you have anything? The man said, no, by Allah, O Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, go to the people and see if you can find anything. So the man went, then he came back and said, no, by Allah, I could not find anything. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, look and see if you can find anything, even if it is an iron ring which you can give. So he went, then came back and said, no, by Allah, O Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not even an iron ring, but I have this izar, a garment of mine, which she can have half of it. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what she can do with your izar? If you are wearing it, she will have nothing of it. The man sat down. Then after a long time had passed, he got up to leave. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he saw him leaving, he said, what do you know of the Quran? He said, Surah such and such, Surah such and such. He named the two surah that he knew. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you know them by heart? He said, yes. Then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, then go, you are married to her by what you know of the Quran. This hadith gave us an idea that it is permissible for the meher to be little or a lot, whatever it is, as per your wealth, if and only if both the partners agree to it. But it is also important to know that an iron ring in this time is extremely little. This is the madhab of Al-Shafi and is viewed by majority of scholars, and this reference I am reading right now from Islamic website Islam Q&A. You can go to have a look at the answer number 3119, where it is given in extreme detail what the dowry should be, how little is too little, how much is too much. It is both relative to what the financial situation both male and female are coming from. But one thing which is extremely clear is you have the right as a woman to determine if you are okay with the amount of dowry or not, and this amount is supposed to stay with you, not with your husband, not with your father, and that is clear. Yeah, I hope it clarifies some of the confusion. And similarly, in another question, it was asked that how much Hab sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave Mahr to his wife, and when they calculated it in both grams on the basis of the amount which was given in dirhams, it was approximated to be around $400 at this time, right? We know how much the $400 would be even at that time. So you can see what Muhammad ﷺ gave in the dowry form to his wives. And all the details are given again. I would repeat here, it's present on Islamic website Islam Q&A. For further information, you can go there for referencing. But I just wanted to compile this little video for you to have an idea what mahr is, who is supposed to provide it, what factors should be considered at the time of determining mahr amount, and specifically when it should be given, so both the teens, male and female, they would be better understanding of the things which are important in Islam. I hope it clarifies some of the things. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Assalamu alaikum.